Hey everybody, it's been a long time. Yeah, just going to make a set here tonight, and maybe we can do some filming, I guess. But yeah, just started. Had to bring in this prop here, so let's get started. Uh, so I have Ultra Dynamic Sky. I have my I have the character here. Yeah, so these satellites. Hmm. Simple floors, huh? Okay, I'll work with that. Well, let's start with 4 here. So this comes from Poly. This is called the Rooftop Pack from, I believe it's Polysphere, but I'm not sure exactly. I'll probably look at it later. Let's see. Let's do, I think it was tall. Let's do tall here. Nope. Work with that. It's 90 degrees. Okay, so let's do that here. And let's start here. So I'm just going to get the basic outline here and find out what we can do. And then if everything goes pretty well, we can start filming. Okay. Start with 2. Let's see here. Oops. So we're just going to copy here, copy paste. So I'm just making a blank set from scratch here, or not. Well, yeah, just using some of some of the sets here or environments available. So there we go. All right. So next thing is let's get a wall. Simple floors here. Let's do that. I'm thinking doing a corner piece. Do. All right. So let's put that here. Maybe something like this. Hey, sorry, it's been a long week. So just glad to be back. So if we start here, Oopsies. Let's try this. And it's 2, right? Okay, just like that. All right. So here. All righty. I'm glad this turned out pretty well. Let's delete that. All right, good. Let's get a border. On. Bricks are 1. There we go. Not sure why I did that, but whatever. Had some fun today. Yeah, I had to deal with a possible tornado. That's great. You know, that time of year. It's kind of a funny story with it, but okay. Let's see, do we have fences? I'd like to do this. Let's see, let's do a post here. Something like this, and then we can do like a chain link fence and then maybe like a gate or something. Let's actually start with this. Start with a door. Blueprints. Bulkhead. Door. Okay. Let's start with at least 1 here. Put that right there. And then what we can do, other door stairs, no. Actually, door stairs wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's see. Skylights, water tank, vent. Skylights here. Schedule glass, no. Props, presets, what's presets? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Where's other? Cable, roof, ground floor, vents. Probably. Probably do. What's this? Right here, right here. just around the corner. Let's put down to 5 and at least 1. Just like that. Okay. Just like, I just want a nice border. You know, anything to prevent seams. Oh, for God's sakes, did I... Let's try again. There we go. Perfect. All right. So, let's work with a fence. Modular at 300, so we'll do 50. So let's put a railing post. That would be, that's something to consider. 1 and 2, so let's try this here at the end. And let's do that here. Oops. Just like that. So here, thinking something like that. And then finally do that. Let's try that here. There we go. Just like this, you know. There you are. This is where, I think this is where you kind of keep your electrical components. You know, something like this. Put that over here. And we could put like multiple AC units. Here and here. Good. Let's put that against the wall. So put like 5. Put it right there. Good. Perfect. There, you can put like a. We can work with some lighting here as well. Probably put the bat signal a little bit closer, maybe up to here. Maybe something like this here. And then probably put like a catwalk up here, vents, and maybe some pipes or something, more vents up here. I think that's a pretty good idea. So let's try that. Start with catwalks here. There's actually a blueprint for a catwalk, so let's work with that. Actually, let's start off with ventilation. No. Let's work with catwalks first. So this one, I say let's start with stair end. And then let's put this at like 50. Let's start with 10. Kind of move it up, you know, just like that. Or maybe down to 5. Let's do 5. Let's do 1. There we go. Okay. And let's add a simple. Where did it go? something broken? Oh, I see. Let's do stairs. Simple. Ah, I see. I see. So it just kind of goes off. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm just wondering what the heck is happening. And then we could just add some stairs. All right, so let's do corner right. Simple. Come on. Simple here. And then another corner right, just like that. End stairs. Oops. And let's do end stairs here. Kind of have it match down here. Okay. If we raise the catwalk a bit, probably just get the post here. Oops. Come on. Let's do support post, just like that. Okay, good. Okay. Probably move it just like that. Okay. All right, so let's see, what can we do with fence? Then we can easily add something at the end. Whoops, let's do simple. There we go. And then for that, maybe let's do like an intersection. Oh, what's that? All right, just bring that down a bit. That there. Okay. Then you can start adding more of these. All right, so for ventilation, let's do a cap through here. Good. Maybe some smoke or something we can add, but something like that. Yeah, like that. There you go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. It's not perfect, but you know, what can you expect? You know, like what can you expect from it? Just building something quickly. What else? What else can we put in? Oh, okay. Let's work on a couple other props here. Vents. Oh, some of these would work. Here, here, maybe some pipes. Let's see what pipes are. Background buildings, huh? You can look into that. We also have another one I can work with. Blueprints. Start with pipes. Valve. Something like this here. Okay, so this must be on the ground or something. All right. Could probably put that against the wall. And then you can do simple. Whoop. Um, let's see. Something like that. There. Let's go like 50 here. Whatever, you're probably not going to see it, but still. All right. Some satellite dishes. Wonder what kind. Let's do 2, 3, 4. Okay. Like that. All right, and then finally, what else? What else can I do? Scene on finished building. Police department. urban. Issues. Let's look. Okay. All right. What's this? Oh. Okay. Oops. Let's see. Let's see what they have. Forgot about this. Lamps, newspaper. Building. Okay. A bit little poly, so I'll probably have it like somewhere. Let's see. Up here, maybe. Didn't. Suburbs, okay. What do you got here? That's not what I'm looking for. This one I could probably work with. We'll see. Something like this. Yeah, that can work. Yeah. I can probably put a fence here. This up here. Make it work. Right there. Right there. Okay. Maybe up here, maybe. I think we're good. We're almost there. I could probably find a way of making this work. We'll put this up along with some of the other buildings once we're done with it. Okay. let's put in my industrial lighting. One more poly. Thinking something like this. Up here. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do next is well, now that we have our building, we have our rooftop here. We could probably add more, like we'll add more detail, but this is looking pretty good for what it is. Nothing too fancy or too distracting. I just want this to work. So let's actually go through. Let's get to the. Let's actually just let's set this at night. 2250. You can tell the light, the signal is working as it should, but we'll work with it once we start dealing with volumetric. Or that, but we also have other buildings too that we could put in as well. I just want something. Let's put this in. Something wrong. Okay. Don't know what happened there, but whatever. Let's try this. See if it works. All right, so let's see. It's definitely taking its time, but that's all right. Yeah. I do have a couple ideas what to do for a set or what to do for another couple shots here. I don't know. I do want to get this cut by the end. I do want to like make like a little trailer over the weekend just to get this project done once and for all. And then I can move on to other things, but it was kind of fun. I just want to we can work with other cinematics and get everything done while I'm working. This thing is taking way too long. What's going on here? Oh boy. Oh no. This thing is... Alright, let's get to character creator. Sure, why not? I'll be back in a second. I'm going to grab a few things. All right, so I'm back. I just looking at a couple of just checking something quickly. Looks like we have everything here. Oh no, tell me. I don't like that. Don't like that little bug when you try to bring a building in and it just doesn't work. 20? Do this and then you have to go and reload it. It can be kind of a pain. No, does this light? Yeah, mission maps. Huh. This might be a problem. All right, so, oops, sorry, didn't mean to kick it. So we'll just close this out for a bit. Let's go with Brushify. See what we can come up with. I think this could work. So if we apply some Brushify here, actually, what's the city block? Let's apply that. Interesting. And then we can apply more. Let's actually put this a bit down. Put like 3,500 down. Whoop, just like that. There. And then I can apply it. What is this? Say block 1. Let's try 2 and see what we can come up with. No. Let's try another high rise. Put this over here. Try that. There. And then try that. And over here. Oops. Oh boy. Sorry. I'm just trying to get out of that. There we go. Now let's put that somewhere like over here. Okay. And we can kind of shove buildings over here and here. Just to create some depth, you know. And I don't want it to be where it's in the way of the bat signal, where it's going to shine. So I would probably put it like something over here. Yeah. And then a couple smaller buildings here. You know, something over here. And finally, you know, over here. One over here and over here. And then finally, that can go there. And then probably some over here. Okay. All right, so fog. Let's put in some fog here, so that way something like that there. And then finally volumetric. There we are. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a spotlight. It's not bad. We're going to start lighting now. So what I'd like to do is I have my spotlight. I think we'll put this at a 45-degree angle. And let's do it by 50. Right where we need it. Okay. So, let's make it like 37,000 or whatever. There we go. Let's decrease. And let's ramp up the intensity by like somewhere 50. Let's also extend the source radius out a bit. Do a soft here. Alright, let's extend it here. There we go. And for the sake of it, let's actually put in a little bit of a point light. So that way it's not like coming from a... So we're going to do this here. Get a small attenuation radius. And increase this and also increase the soft source. Make it movable. Whoops. I just want to make sure we got this this effect here. Or I don't know if that's going to work. Want to actually let's try a rectangular light here just to see. If not, I can just start playing around with the idea, a couple ideas here, just like that. And let's put that global or local. Sorry, not global. Just like that. Okay. And let's say 550. Same thing for the spotlight. Actually, let's make a... That way I'm not like, scrambling around. Okay. This is something I should actually start working with here. So that way it's just, that way we're not like scrambling here. Let's get our lighting going. So let's put a rectangular light here and make sure go here. organization won't kill anybody. I certainly would welcome it. Here you go. Let's do like 20. And let's decrease like that. Make it movable. Let's increase about 2. And we can also, if we need to, we can also improve the light here. Okay. I would also like to add like little red lights here, but we'll play around with it more. Let's move that to our lighting. Okay. And why not? I'm gonna make a new folder for camera. No. You get out. Okay. Camera. Okay. Oh yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. Now I'm gonna put some I might put a few decal. I don't know. We'll see. And then once we'll start lighting a bit more here. Then we'll kind of put like a 5500 light or something. Where's my spotlight? Sorry, I'm getting too distracted with naming and all that. Spotlight. Let's put 6500. You can tell, like, let's do 9000. Sure. Creates this nice blue effect here, so we can have it like kind of spill over a bit, but if we want to. So you know, we can definitely put like a point light here and then something like that. We'll put a point light. Well, let's actually put our character in. Our two characters we'll put in here. So did we get our light? Engine plugins, cinematic light presets, our camera here. We got some ghosting, that's okay. Off, photograph, 48 frames per second. Component, we're going to go to our rendering, motion blur, go to 1. Okay. Camera component. Here. Exposure, set to 3. Let's go 4. Hey, what are you making? Doing some cinematic work. I'm just getting the set all ready to go. So we're bringing in a couple characters here. Let's do a squeeze factor of 2 so we have ourselves a frame. So this is just gonna be for like a fake trailer. I'm trying to get it cut over the weekend. Let's actually switch it to a prime 58 or yeah, 58 millimeter prime lens here. So we're gonna change that to here. Let's do exposure to 3. Oh, what's going on, Legacy? So let's move this to the camera, to our little camera folder here. All right, stop highlighting. Move to camera here, so that way I can keep track of it. And finally, we can start piloting here. All right, good. Next, let's get our focus. What was our aperture? Okay, so the aperture is at 1.8, so it's pretty shallow. All right, so what we need to do is we need to set our bloom to 1. And what is the bloom for this thing? How much do you know about Unreal? It depends. If you're looking for cinematics, I could probably be able to help you out. What's going on? Let's make it a little bit more yellow. I probably fucked that up. Oh well, we'll see. All right. Cinema. Camera here. Go back to bloom. Let's go with like 15 or so. Whoop. Let's go with -5. And see what we come up with here. Woo! Too much. Too much. Good lord. Let's go with -2. -1. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to have to... It's not what I wanted. Work on Star Wars from bad decisions, but stack. So the stack mesh of the stormtroopers flicker while looking through it through the city camera actor. Well, that could be. Are you using a shallow depth of field, or what are you using? What's your aperture? Sometimes it'll flicker when you have a very shallow depth of field here. Good God. All right, fine. We'll have to go through here. 1, 2, 3. We'll actually just save it to like 2750. There we go. It depends. If you have like a shallow depth of field, it's going to when they get blurred in the background. Yeah, that's there. It's your depth of field. You may have to like. Do you see it when you're doing it in the rendering at all when you render it? Okay. Or is it just the it's just when you go through like here in this viewport? Let's do 1. Okay, so yeah, it's a shallow depth of field. It happens often, but if you let's see, that's a little too much. We're gonna reduce that down a bit. Sorry, I'm just kind of playing around with this back and forth here. Okay, there we go. So I think it happens with reflective materials. So if the stormtroopers have like I imagine it's just kind of flickering back and forth, and especially if they're like it's sort of kind of doing this little fuzzy effect, you know, where it's like going back and it's not so much flickering, but it's kind of I'm trying to recreate the effect here. But it kind of has this little it's what you expect, but there's a it's just because it's in like in a preview motion, you know. It depends on what you're setting in your rendering settings and everything in your console variables. It usually goes away, but sometimes it does happen. It just depends on I can't describe it very well, but like I would do like depth of field quality and all that. It will improve it. You know what I mean? I've never heard of bad decisions, so let me check what they're doing. Is it one of those you have to pay for it? You have to pay for their courses. How much is that? Let me check. 14 days, 20 hours. I'm curious. Let's see how much it is. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, it's one of those things, huh? You get a little, you get a little certificate. I love those. You can learn. Holy sh! Whew. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, Nelly, that is $500. Woo. Ooh. Oh, 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 oh. It breaks in the exact where the debug. I think it's just it's like I know what you mean. It's like this little flickering thing that you get with shallow depth field. You're not getting it here, but once maybe if I put in like a strong backlight or something for you. I'll see if I can recreate. I know exactly what you're looking for, and it's very common with your preview settings here. Up there it is. You see it? It's already doing that. You see it here? This is what it's doing. But yeah, it sort of like flickers when you're doing something shallow depth of field. That's just a preview thing. So sorry, I'm still getting over the sticker shock. I'm sure it's worth it. I'm sure it's worth it. But man, yeah, it depends. So you just gotta update. You do have to make some changes in your. You do have to make change. You can change the lighting. You can also increase your depth of field. Like you probably are you rendering? Are you like are you looking like if it doesn't work, you can also do like a deep focus shot if you want to, but does it need to be do you need a shallow depth of field? Do you need to do this? One of those things. If it doesn't work, you can probably just get away with doing like a deep focus shot. You're going to need a lot more lighting, but you can do the compensation. But yeah, let me open up my settings here for you. What am I doing? So yeah, you can do depth of field quality. You can. There's a couple things I recommend if you're working with that shallow depth of field. I'll go over it eventually. Yeah, I saw the sticker shock of that. Here, I'll show what I'm gonna show it. Sorry. So this is what this guy's talking about. So this is a course here for Unreal Engine. I mean, you could take. I'm not bashing it, or anything like that. And I'm not like, oh, you should go to me instead. I'm not gonna do that. If you want to learn it, go ahead. I'm not going to. Whatever works for you. I just saw the price and I'm like, oh. It's not bad for what they are for like 14 days of a lot of content and everything. But wow. I went to the university of just poke it with a stick and see what happens, you know. I just broke the Unreal Engine and said, okay, I want to shoot movies. That's how I learn a lot of my programs. I just go in and I try to break it as much as I want to poke it with a stick. No, I'm not throwing any shade or bashing anybody. I just saw that. I'm like, wow. Ooh. Pricey. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, like, I know probably a lot of it, so I probably wouldn't be invested. If it's like a certain thing, like if there's a really, like, a deep subject I would like to learn a little bit more, like, and yeah, a lot more in depth, I guess. But I wouldn't. I know quite a bit from it. Why did that break? Weird. But yeah, you should. I would give it a render. So in your C variables, just play around here with your console variables. So you can add one. Let's go with our depth. So you can do our depth of field. You know, you can make that change it so you go to quality, and then you can go up to 4 or whatever. So 4 is custom, scale it and all that, tone map for bloom, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna get rid of this because it's completely useless for me. Change that. Oh, because I didn't put it to the lightning. Yeah. I'm a dumbass. Okay. No, you probably not. I mean, I would start playing around with console variables and everything. You kind of... Oh, there we go. But the main question is, like, what kind of your lighting you're going for. I mean, there's a lot of things that can greatly affect it. It's your lighting. It could be lighting. It could be if your materials are too shiny, that kind of thing. Or if it constantly bounces light back and forth, you may. What I also could recommend is if it's like doing this weird flickering effect, and if they're just a bunch of stormtroopers in the background and nobody gives a shit, you could just what you can do if it's close up, you can just turn off, like, you can reduce like the roughness and all that. You can just make a very matte material and just throw it in there. If it's just flickering, like if it's shining back and it's too distracting, just make a matte material and throw it back in there. That kind of thing. Maybe that'll get rid of it. Sometimes you just have to, mess around with it. And let's move this to lighting before I forget and go looking for it. So yeah, we can. So apparently my materials have completely decided to give up on me, but that's okay. I don't mind it. The hell. Oh, in stack mesh. It does happen quite often. Here, what's the here? I'll render. We'll render Batsy. Let's do sequences. Batman rooftop. Just to see if it'll break. All right, so we'll throw that in. There we go. Let's throw in animation. Do I have him in idle? Okay, let's put him in idle. There we go. Yeah, you can also tell that this is anamorphic effect because you see the bokeh. It's kind of like this oval shape. Pretty easy to do. So let's get our lighting set up here. Save all. And let's do a little render here. Let's put it in my desktop for now. Let's do this. There. and sequence and render local. Yeah, that's what I thought. Where did they get that Batman model? It's from Reallusions. I found it in a play. You know, I work with a program called iClone, so they have characters that have. This comes from Character Creator 4. So someone made a Batman model costume in the Unreal Market or in the iClone marketplace. I was browsing around. I see it. I tried a couple. Some of them are really freaking broken. So let's see. Let's open up Character Creator 4. It's probably not smart to open up this program while rendering. It's probably going to crash it. Oh boy, it's probably going to crash my computer, especially if you're on a 2080 like I am. It's not good. It's probably going to crash, but we'll see. Yeah, it's still compiling shaders. Initializing, done. Okay, so yeah, I use iclone here. So I have a character going through what I had to get. So let's put a character in for get a character here. So I put in the basic character. His name's Kevin, but still compiling. You goddamn. Gotta love Unreal and compiling. Okay. But yeah, you could. Yeah, it's running really well. Sometimes I like. Well, my set design's pretty low right now. I'm not really putting too much pressure on it. I've kind of learned when it comes to set building and everything, I like to keep it simple. Like you get what you guys see is normally my set. Whatever I have in control, I build. It's probably gonna crash, but we'll see because I'm running on this. So character here. So if we put cloth, where's Batsy? There's Batsy. So yeah, I have all the there's all this cloth here. I also had like a body armor thing for him. I had this because it didn't include it. It's just a bunch of armor and all that, so I had to get kind of creative. So what I had to do was I had to adjust the cloth collisions for anybody who was working with the CC4. So the guy who designed this outfit, pretty decent, except that you should have the frickin' body armor. So much 9070. That's AMD, all right. RX. I don't know. It's AMD if I remember. I would go for me with just because I want to work with I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would rather do AMD for CPUs and NVIDIA for the graphics cards. When I consider upgrading, which fingers crossed, hopefully by the end of the year, there's something that could happen this week that will probably give me the opportunity to do it. So wishing me the best of luck. Well, hey, yay, it worked. Hi, Batsy. I would improve the lighting here, but let's go to shot deck here for a second. I want to figure out what my lighting opportunities are. Yay, it worked. Okay. Good. So this is not my final lighting. Keep that in mind. This is just me screwing around. So, yeah, hopefully, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Greg Fraser, who he's done some absolutely amazing work. Dune and Batman and everything. Rogue One, great. So let's go with the Batman, because this is where, God, it's one of my favorite shot. You know, when it comes to superhero films and all that, this is probably one of my favorites of recent memory, just because how it just works, and not only that, but the process behind how Fraser and Matt Reeves kind of work together to get to create this look. It's absolutely brilliant. If you haven't looked, I would strongly look into that if anyone's interested. When it comes to advice for anybody who wants to work with Unreal Engine cinematics, look into real life live action filmmakers. Look into what cinematographers are dealing with, like what they deal with, how to work with it. Treat it like don't just throw in a camera and render. You got to think, okay, what's your lighting? What's your color? What's your environment? Hi, Chicago. You know, how do you approach it? You notice I don't really use a lot of white lights. Even then, this is a very cool color. I set it to 9,000 for my color temperature. That's how you really get a good look. It's something I have to, even though my lighting can suck sometimes, and sometimes I just don't get it right, but maybe we can put more decal work or something if I need to. But really, the real magic is like knowing like what to work with. So if we go back to like shot deck, I'm kind of looking into a lot of how it's set up. So for anybody who really wants to like really take get stand out, kind of develop your style, develop what you can work with. What's with these people filming? What's with Batman movies in Chicago? I know what that building is. Oh my god, I'm gonna show you guys. I was in Chicago not too long ago. I know exactly where they are. Here, I'm gonna drop this right on the Google Street View. Okay, I noticed they made some changes, but they are shooting basically at the Chicago Board of Trade. They've done this in Batman Begins, and now it's Gotham City is basically Chicago and New York combined. It has to be. I don't know. It reminds me too much of they did some CG work or something, because this is definitely it's Chicago Board and Trade or something close to it. I don't know if they've done it, because if you go to Batman Begins, okay. So I know Nolan used right here. He used this is kind of a very common building, like the Chicago Board and Trade here. So you see some of it here, but yeah, let's just quickly go under. Let's go under Michigan Avenue, and you'll probably see a couple other ideas what they've done. There we go. So if you ever want to work with a Batman film, if you ever want to consider making Gotham City, combine Chicago, Cleveland, and New York together. Combine those three cities, a little bit, maybe some Detroit, because they have a lot of like this grand skyscraper style that kind of fits Gotham City. Yeah, I wouldn't hurt combining like a lot of these upper Midwest cities and New York City, obviously, but mostly Midwestern cities like Cleveland and Detroit and Chicago, because they have these like they have these kind of grand skyscrapers here. Like if we go down to, it's been through so many names. Sorry, I know it by the carbide and carbon building here. So you get stuff like this. Chicago has a ton of these buildings around. I like that. That's kind of a famous one right there. That's, yeah, Dark Knight, obviously. It's hidden. Let's see. So yeah, you get these grand buildings that you can work with, and I know Unreal Engine has for their city samples they use this as a so you can build this for free. It's under their Sandy sample building set. So yeah, that's carbide and carbon building. That's over there. It's now a hotel. So you do have to take out a lot of the well-known skyscrapers in the area, like Sears Tower. Marina City is pretty famous. Same with the Trump Hotel over there, John Hancock Center as well. Yeah, you can actually go build that here. Like I've been to Chicago quite a few times, so I'm kind of familiar with the area. I probably walked down quite a bit of these streets. So yeah, if you go, yeah, Marina City's pretty pop. I stayed in Marina City last time. I was in Chicago. I stayed in Marina. I stayed at the hotel that was connected to it. So That seriously, Chicago is a very interesting like city to go study and build. If you're building sets, if you want to build like a city set, something, go look at Chicago. It's an interesting city, and you know this is Union Station. If anyone's seen The Untouchables, you know that famous scene with the staircase and the baby, the baby stroller falling down the stairs, and the shootout that happened in here. So yeah, pretty famous. You know, a lot of movies were shot in Chicago. Great donut place, by the way. As a random note. And if you want to see some famous paintings in Chicago, American Gothic, Nighthawks, and if anyone's seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, yeah. You know, whatever. All right, so we're back to that. Now back to Unreal Engine. I'm trying to think. I think this kind of lighting would be okay. What I would do is kind of kick it up a bit with the blue light, so maybe 4. And I probably do a little bit of probably lean it over here. So where's my light right now? Light is facing here, so I would probably move it here for him, so we may get a little bit more dramatic flare here. That will work. Hold on a second. What the hell is this? Bad Reallusion. Bad. You know better than that. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Where are we getting these issues from? I think it's that. Film here, I'll probably film. So probably do some. Let's do a fill. And then probably put the camera a little bit behind here for him. No, even I'll probably change it up a bit. So probably do a fill light here. think. Yeah, that could work. Probably what I would probably do as well, I'm going to do a strong backlight. So let's attach this and do a light here, but we'll expand it here and here and increase like that. See how that works for me. I'm probably good. Yeah, you see it's starting to flicker. So what do I have to give? I may have to get rid of these lights and replace them with something else. So even then, I'll probably have them like in a different pose or something. Okay. With that, you know, we can have our characters here. So we'll put another character. And this is where I'll probably put blocking in. So this is where I'll think about blocking. So I'll put in markers here where characters are going to sit. Right now I'm just in the, I'm trying to think what I can work with here. So I'll throw her in. Throw her in here. I'll need to change the costume. Throw him in here. Okay, so what I'd probably do is we'll probably delete this light. He's gonna have a backlight here with. So when I set up my second shot here, I gotta be really careful. So I'll probably put. Maybe he goes here. There's probably something here. And he goes here. Oops. Or he goes here. This is kind of she goes here. Focus, focus. Here. So when they talk, she could be here. Let's set up a camera, make sure we are stop piloting. I want to duplicate this too. So let's actually set this at default dew point. I want to duplicate it to here. Can you not please? Sound, come on. Pilot. Oh, bastard. I would like to set up a 2-shot. Here. Probably do maybe a slight backlight for him, light for her. Let's play around with this. We even probably improve it here, here. And for him, what I might do is I actually probably, I'm probably going to increase the aperture to 4. And put more of the lighting towards him here. Hey there, what's going on? Something like this. That. Now, there is something. Okay, so what I'm probably going to do. What are you using for body animations? Iclone, for now. Using iclone. I had Rococo set up for a bit, but the membership ran out. I'm not going to use that until I get until I'm done with editing a project. So. Yeah, mocap. Yeah, I have a Rococo suit, but like I said, the membership did run out. I'll probably update it pretty soon. We'll see what happens. I'm just kind of getting that, just working on editing before I do anything. There we go. There we are. They have a Rococo smart suit, but then I use, for any action stuff, for any conversation scenes, I would use it. I think this would be fine if we pay attention. Obviously, the grid. Yeah, I would have to update it a bit. So I'd probably put him a bit closer. And we'll transfer the camera, just like that here. And especially, I probably put him a bit closer too. So if we move here and here, it depends. I probably do a low angle for him. Or maybe, do I do eye level? I could get away with eye level. Only problem is he does need to be a bit farther away. Does Rococo have a price for its studio? Yes, it does. I don't have the price at the top of my head right now, but it does cost. It's a yearly subscription. Yeah, probably gonna have to bring it in closer here. We'll set it at 45. And I'll probably put her in. Where's my spotlight? And one, two, three, four. Let's put them here. Shoot. No problem. Let's do 22.5. Let's try 135 here for him. $75? No. Yeah, I'll probably put down here. Up. Or better yet, just have them move closer. Yeah, I'm making this way more complicated than it needed to be, but yeah, I would do that here. I would do this. Because I actually do like the lighting and everything. No, that works here for him. You have where can I finish your finished video? It's on my YouTube. It's here on my YouTube. I don't have an art station. Everything you need to know, or if you ever want to find out my work, it's on my YouTube. Ah, there's the little flickering. There it is. Put it here for him. And then what's the light? Let's see what the light is here. So we'll do like 4. No, I like to. Well, let's do 4. Let's do 3. Then I'll change it to 4 for him, just like that. I think this can work here. Look. I think this can work. So probably, like I said, where is she? Okay, yeah, she's right where I need. Yeah, she's right there. She can. So if we put markers in, we can have characters stand, interact. Oh, he's here. And then we can make adjustments to the lighting when in the next shot or something. Hey there, Autumn. I think this can work. Well, if we put like a blue light here, oof, not that, too much. I want to give some detail here, so 1500, just like that. So for him, so here's a little trick for me. What I do for my blocking is so let's see. I like to put in basic shapes here. So these are my markers. So anybody who works in iclone who's wondering, hey, how do I get like when it comes to Unreal Engine, how do we go back and forth, you know, when it comes to characters and everything, how do you do it? For me, I would do that. I like doing this, so I like making little markers here. So I have a shape, so let's see. I'm going to make, let's go to props here. It's actually, what I do here is made an instance, so I'm going to call it red. Yeah, whatever. Let's force delete it. Make it. I'm just gonna call it red. Go here. Base color, just like that. We have red here, so I'll do one for blue. Duplicate that. Oh, thank you. What do you think of MetaHuman? I was about to say, it's still limited when it comes to certain character. I mean, when it comes to certain character designs, it's for now it's limited. But with the new updates with 5.6 and 5.7, it's getting pretty close to what I want. Still ways to go, but they definitely made strides towards it. The only thing I would say is that there's like a hidden danger to, well, not so much of a danger, but more of a risk when you're working with MetaHuman, is that you're going to, yeah, the more realistic the character, the more precise the animation needs to be. Otherwise, you get this really uncanny effect, and it's kind of hard. I've seen a lot of MetaHuman renders, especially with lighting, and you know, you have to be really good at it, and the animation has to be just right. Otherwise, you get this weird effect to it. So that's why I like working with character creators, models, than metahuman at the time. One is customization, plus there's a little bit of, it's not that, it's not like close to it, you know what I mean? There's some it's a lot easier for me to get away with you know, with my animations, I guess. You know, I can be a lot more careful. You know, it's just that I don't need to spend a whole lot of time like making it as realistic as I can. I can over exaggerate or anything like that. I can get away with it. Sorry, I'm not. I'm kind of my mind's still working on this little marker thing. So that's why not only that, but costumes and everything, metahuman is still kind of limited and it's kind of expensive as hell. But once 5.7 gets around, not only that, but also body type as well. Character creator is, for now, it's my preferred thing because I'm also used to iclone and everything. It's easier for me to animate. You can work with metahuman. It's just that there has to be a lot more careful consideration to your animation. Like, no joke, I used to I remember somebody had a metahuman render one time. I'm not going to name the guy's name or anything like that. He used to post it all the time in various groups, but there was no expression on the face, and he didn't know how to light. He didn't take any consideration to lighting. Those things scared the shit out of me. I remember opening up my phone and just going, "Oh fuck me," and seeing a picture of a face. It looked like it if anyone's seen Lake Mungo, if anyone's seen Lake Mungo, that face of that dead girl in Lake Mungo, how creepy looking it looked. I mean, that's what I got from that render. And he wasn't doing it to be intentionally scary. He probably just made a character and threw it in Unreal, threw a camera, didn't do any lighting. He probably did like a directional, like Mungo. Sorry. It's an Australian horror film from like 2008. Here, I'll find a picture. It sort of had the same lighting as this. I'm trying to get the stupid image here. Stupid Google. Sorry, I'm trying to get that. Yeah, it looked like something like a very blank expression. The lighting was all there. It's kind of like that. I wish I had the picture of it, but I can't find it anywhere. I think he took it down, but it gave me the creeps. I'm like, good God. No expression. Just imagine a close up of something like that in that kind of lighting using metahuman. So it doesn't matter like when it comes to photorealism and all that. You got to know how to light. You don't be reliant on that. Don't be reliant just because it's metahuman. Oh, it's photorealistic. If you can't light or do anything like that, you're kind of screwed. You know. But yeah, the film is called Lake Mungo. It just reminds me. Is there Batman in the scene? Yeah, he's here. He's in the scene here. But where was I with speaking of uncanny metahuman characters that scare the shit out of me? Well, no. Did I close out of it? God damn it. Yeah, but all right, let's get back into this thing because I closed out of it because I'm a stupid idiot. I'm being stupid again. Anyway, but yeah, just if you're ever doing metahuman, just pay attention to your lighting and all that. Just you can do metahuman. There's some really good metahuman renders and everything. I've seen really impressive work from what everyone does. Animation, you have to be a lot more careful. You know, there has to be a sense of realism. It's kind of like the best way to describe it is like if you're well familiar with if you're well familiar with like how anime is, how very simple, they go with simple designs because they can over animate and get animate characters and get away with it. Except for Miyazaki. Miyazaki hated that bullshit. Sorry, not bullshit. That's the wrong term. He didn't. That's what he was like. Oh, that's I I don't want to be like that. To him is like he didn't like it too much. It was very. He had a lot of words to say about it. Probably in the same tone as you know. Probably in the same. He did not like it too much, so a lot of his characters are a lot more human moving, and they do a lot of subtle human animations in his work, so that's something to notice. It's not as over exaggerated as other anime, but yeah, it's one of those things. Sorry, it's not bullshit is not a right proper term, I guess. All that all that stuff, but where was I? Oh, right. Yeah, Miyazaki did not like that over exaggerated style. He did not like it too much. He also hated being called the Disney of like Japan. He absolutely hated it. He absolutely hates it. He hated being compared to Disney. Anyway, let's do transfer to iclone here. So keep original, convert all. And there we go. We got our markers. And if it's in the right I thought it would I thought the colors would change. Oh well, what I can do is alright, see it. We can also just transfer that to iclone so I can have a reference. Convert all. And there we go. So there we are. We have our. That's how I like to block an iclone. So this is something I get asked about a lot, like how do I go back and forth? How do I prepare my scenes up a bit when it comes to blocking? Um, I usually just bring in a couple things. I don't need to bring in everything. I get people ask me, "Hey, like when you build sets up, or do you bring in everything?" Sometimes I don't do that because I don't need to. Only if characters need to. If character needs to interact with something, like if they're running through walls or they're hiding, jumping, doing stuff like that, then I'm going to work with it. For now, but most of the time I would put in little markers, have a character standing, and then I would have something called, like if I can't tell which one's which, I just throw in something as a landmark. So I have a character here, not only that, but maybe she leans against it. I don't know. No, she'll probably stand, look here. So here we'll bring in an example. Let's bring her in. So let's throw her in here. Now that I have a motion dummy too, so we'll bring in the motion dummy here. So I want her to stand like this. So let's do characters. I could bring in the same character. I can. But let's just bring in a motion dummy here. So right through here. Motion. Let's go with motion plus actor group. You know, something like that, a motion like this. And why not just why not? Let's have, just because we can have her pay attention to her character here, just like that. And there we go. I'm gonna slow down the animation. Sometimes, well, I can probably just do this in Unreal Engine too. But sometimes iclone can be a little over exaggerated, but we can set the speed at least. Let's do 50%. Apply it. There we go. And then I can, that leaning back and forth, no. Sorry, I'm just, let's see what Kobold has to offer for me. Kobold, female. Is there like an idol? What do you got for idol, Kobold? Okay, so we'll have to adjust the shoulders a bit. That's okay. Easy. Okay, Kobold, what? Too over exaggerated. Come on. Sorry, multiple emotions at the same time. Let's do this. Hey, All right, let's have a look. Right, hair scalp. Okay. Running into translucency issues. Hair and scalp importing. Are you getting that depth of field issue where if you're shooting with a shallow depth of field, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb? Hmm. So let's actually modify the motion. Just got it here. See if we can actually there we go. Let's do that here. So the shoulder should be all the way down, just like that. Like that, but we can also apply a still looking. So let's also adjust here, adjust the speed. Let's do like 75%. That, but we can also let's also set a gesture. Yeah, let's actually yeah, we can probably get this fixed for you. What the heck is this? Alright, let's do this. Okay. Okay, let's make sure. A little goofy with the hand there. So let's bring that closer to our. Oh. Sorry, just making small adjustments here and there. And then that one tends to kind of go out just like that. So let's bring that closer down. There we go. What the hell, Kobold? Don't worry, I'll just fix that. Because now the cloth is sticking. Oh, but I'm just gonna use it to prove a point. So, just go through our proofs. Show you how to do this quickly. So we have our character. We'll just get into Unreal Live Link. Hopefully, I'm not causing too much trouble. Make all animations sequencer and bring her in. Alright, so what it's going to do is just going to take that motion and bring it into our character, which we'll apply here. And she should have the same expression. But yeah, what did you join the Discord? Mike, did you join the Discord? Yep, there you are. I see you. There we go. But yeah, just have a look, and you can drop it in Discord and see what we can come up with. All right. So save that here. Save all. Throw in our character. And she should have her animation. Today is, for some reason. Yep, there it is. Oh, I see why. Because dismiss. No. Dismiss. 0, 0, 0, and 0. There we go. So there she is. Oh yeah, there's a Discord. Let me share it here. Let me give you a permanent link. I linger on it quite often, so if anyone has a question, they can join the Discord. It's kind of quiet, but I'm there. It's actually, yeah, it should be found in my description. I just want to make sure everyone can get into it. It should be a permanent thing. If it's not, just go bother me. Yep. No, it's not in my description. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Let me get you into it. Copy. And let me just get right into my live chat here. And I'll get you. This will expire in a day, so copy the link. And paste. There we go. All right. So, there we go. We have some collision issues here. Someone's asking about that too, so we can actually kill a couple birds with one stone here. Why does she have a cigarette? What the hell? No. No cigarettes. Let's see. Phone. hide. So let's do that here. So there we go. So let's actually change her speed to at least, let's do 0.75. Good, so. So she should have her animation here. Let's also fix up the soft cloth for her while we're at it. It's because of this motion director thing. So anytime you do something with motion director, it's going to bring in like cigarettes and random stuff. You could turn it off. I forgot to do that. Or you can just do what I do. I made like a simple material and just hit it. It happens all the time with let's go here. Let's go through cloth. We have a cloth paint here, so let's go through here. All right, so let's just material properties. Let's do bending, collision. Let's set the collision at 0.25. And let's do 0.5 so it doesn't go through, and see where that takes us. And then we may have to actually update the collision on her legs a bit, but we'll see. It's better. A lot better. Yeah, that's something I have to tell. I have to tell somebody about this. He's been struggling. Just got a couple questions when it comes. He was working with a cape and he was wondering why it flows through or why hair flows through. It's sometimes you're gonna have to adjust collision. So let's say we can also make adjustments. Like, oh, it flows too much. Let's cut down the animation a bit. So you can go here, enable cloth paint, and then you go to our coat. And there you can actually just make some adjustments. Here you can actually do like subdivision, but it's going to crash your system, especially if you have high poly stuff, so be careful about that. So yeah, I think collision's fine. Let's actually just set the collision to 0.65. Let's also adjust our animation to, let's do 0.5 for the low. And let's make adjustments to 0.5 here. So that way it's a little bit more stiffer. Same thing for the hair as well. Let's go to hair. Make sure everything's good. Let's do it to 0.65. And then finally 0.5 here, and then save it. So the hair should be fine. And then I'm going to save the character and see what happens. It's just a lot of experimenting. So if you're having issues with hair and cloth, you're going to have to, you can go in and make adjustments. Reillusion is not perfect. Oh. I think that's perfect right there. So if anyone needs to, and not only that, but you can also repaint it and fix weight mat if there's issues with the hair and everything. Or if you want to create soft cloth of your own, you can do that too. Okay, I see it. There you go. I see you. But yeah, just let me know what's going on. I'll have a look at it and come up with something here. I think this works. Kind of see the. Kind of see it's not too much, not too distracting right there. That's what I'm kind of paying attention to. And then we can easily change the play speed by 0.25 or whatever. We can just adjust, but this is just me working with this. We'll get a better animation. I'll find other idle animations to work with, but yeah. I hope then we can have them talk here. I need to get somebody to do voice acting. Or I'll probably. I don't want to voice act. I'm not good at it. That's why I get other people to do it. Oh, you know what? I want to ask somebody if he's interested. Because I want him to do like a line here. Because yeah, we'll need to have her stand still. That way she's not moving around too much. And that book can also make her like. Whoop. How's the rotation? Oh, it's not local. It's a pivot. Oh dear. That's what happens. I think that can work here. Love to see. Let's see the other. Let's do a duplicate camera here. Would love to see what it looks like if I. Let's actually make a new sequence. Oops. Don't do my naming conventions as well. This is just for practice, but don't do it. You're going to have a bad time and you're going to be really mad at me. Yeah, probably what I could do is reduce this by 2. Or reduce the spotlight by like 250. Like this. Have it look down. I don't know. I'm just thinking of ideas. I'm not. Right through here. Zoom in close. That's a shot. Yep. No. Yeah, I actually like to do a shot like this. Just like that. Close up of the signal here. Zoom in close. And then, you know, we do another shot here. Probably do a shot like this, or just experiment here. And I'm an idiot, darn it. I ruined that shot. Oh well. I'll fix it. I'll fix it later. So we can do something like this. I don't know. Not bad though. Not bad. Hopefully I didn't so Ooh, hang on a second. Let's hide this. I don't know, I'm just kind of looking around, but this is kind of the fun thing of working with the Unreal Engine a bit, you know. You get these ideas. Yeah, we're doing another. I'm gonna find another idle animation. I'm just kind of getting ideas what to work with here with my shots. See what I can come up with. There we are. Hopefully, I don't know if it's been educational or not, or just me messing around, but we'll have him love yeah, I'll have to get somebody. Yeah, I'm going to talk to somebody about that, but about certain voiceovers, see if they're up for it. Do a couple recordings, then cut together and call it good and find something else to work on. You know, on the live stream. Let's see here. Hmm. Sorry, just thinking. Just sending a couple of messages too as well. Okay, let's have a look. See. You're in 5.4 now. Are you You said you're working on animations. Why? Okay. Scalability is medium. Okay, so let's get this sorted. So you're just doing animations. All right. All right. Let's get through. Let's see if we can get this solved. Okay, it's education project. Okay, I think you're. Yeah, I know what you're doing with that. Okay. All right. Hopefully, hopefully you're seeing me on stream right now. I'll probably even answer this in the Discord too. So, I think you have your settings on game. Let me check. I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but let's exit out of this quickly to make sure. Oh, sorry, we're on 5. Doesn't matter. What's yeah? Okay, so iclone's freaking out. Okay, let's get out of. Let's get out of this. I'm actually kind of curious. Can you? I'm seeing your character here. Now it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Even though I'm in 5.5, no, it's compiling shaders. So give me a minute. I think I know what it is. I have a couple theories. I'm gonna leave it as is. So when I set up an Unreal project here, I usually do under film, like film, television. That's usually my first settings because I think you're in game. I think you're in some kind of game mode or something. It probably won't make much of a difference. I don't know what I don't know the difference between those two when it comes to like cinematic work and all that. Maybe you get more tools to play with. In fact, let's get out of Unreal for a second. Let me go and run through it here. And let's go make a new one. And let's open up the folder. I'm going to delete this, even though it's probably going to cause a lot of issues, but whatever. Okay, so it just gives you different things. I think, I don't know if you're in games or not, or whatever, but I don't know. I usually just, when I start a new Unreal project, I'm on film, video, and live events, but that's why it just gives you a lot more to work with, like virtual production. So let's have a look here. In the meantime, let's pull up this project here. So there's a couple things, even though I'm on 5.5, I want to make sure you have this installed, because the first thing I'm thinking about is I don't think you have your auto setup installed. Okay, I'm actually in film video project. Okay, so good, because I saw that default map, and it's what I usually see in like the default game setup. So I'm thinking, I don't know if there's a difference between the two or whatever. Maybe you just get more to work with, but so under plugins. So just because I'm looking at the shaders here, I don't think you have your I don't think you have the auto setup shaders installed. It is installed. All right. Let's go down. So what kind of hair does the character have exactly? Let's actually see if we can replicate the same haircut. Or at least the same. Well, probably. Let's have a look here. I think I might have the same haircut. Maybe not. I thought I did. So with these things, are like any transparency issues with hair. Anytime someone has a hair issue, I usually try to find out what haircut it is so we can get like the same results. Maybe I do. I don't know. Sorry, it's compiling shaders. It's still installing. Can you do me a favor? Go to your character. And can you scroll up and see if you can find the hair material shaders in Unreal Engine and take a screen cap of it? What kind of hairstyle is that? Let me look it up here. Marketplace? Oh. Oh, okay. It was from it was like conforming hairstyle or something. Okay, okay. Somewhat conforming or something. It's an old one too. It was something like hottest hairstyles or something. Conforming Hair Volume 1. Let's see, I'll put in Dwayne here. Yeah, I know exactly what this is. So we'll put Dwayne, get some clothes on him. The cloth would be, what would be cloth? Yeah, sure, casual wear. That's kind of like my go-to. If I need to bring a character in, I usually do casual wear because it's the first thing I see. Yeah, sure. There we go. Now, let's see. Okay, good. Got rid of the underwear because it's just extra polys and you don't see it. Alright, let's go to hair. Conforming hair 1, that's where I would probably find it. Where are you? I thought I had it here. It's a very old one too, so I have to reinstall it again. Okay. I mean, for the character, what would be the character shader? So, sorry, for the character shader itself, you know, the character when you bring the character in scene. There it is. Okay, so that's the hairstyle here. It's probably not a smart hair. Could I convert to smart hair? Or does it have to be in traditional? Yeah, let's actually change this to digital human hair, the smart hair, and see what we can come up with. Oh, cool. Sweet, it works. So we'll have to go through a couple things. So, and I think he had a scalp too, because I did see a scalp. No, it's just only one. So yeah, I converted to smart hair and everything. There you can actually make adjustments. So let's see. But also, hang on, before I forget, I want to make sure that he, before I bring him in, I want to make sure that he has his facial expressions all good. CC4 extended. Okay, good. Smile. Ah, cool. Does he have a wrinkle map? He sort of does. I like it. So cool. And yeah, so all right, back to my lawyer outfit. You know what? What's also let's also give him a jacket. Sure. So do that. Replace it. And he gets a jacket. There we go. I actually like this. This is one of my favorite little outfits. I'll have a character always wear this somewhere. Okay, so let's go to plugins. Let's just I'm going to install the let's install our character creator and iclone auto setup. But yeah, what I would do is I would convert it to smart hair, or that the material settings for that. So because I think you have it under traditional. So for him, I would change it to digital human hair, or the smart hair thing. And let's have a look. Same thing for like characters with eyelashes or something. You want to make sure, you have to probably go through it and make sure it's non-traditional. Otherwise, if you have like older characters, that's why it has that issue for you. That's what I'm thinking. So before we begin, I'm just going to do plugins. I'm going to install a couple things. I'm going to install my camera. I'm going to install the control. We probably don't need that, but I will install the iclone live link. Restart now. So when it comes to like eyelashes and eyebrows here, just want to be careful with you know, what your settings are. So I think that's what's causing your issue. So we'll bring him in. Let's go to my character. Oops, come on. Content. Let's go. Let's get rid. Okay, good. Let's close the Unreal project. Let's close every folder out because I'm going to get confused. Let's do plugins. Browse files. Now you're going to be working on, let's see, Unreal Engine. Let's do, well, since I'm on 5.5, I'm going to use the 5.5 folder. So I'm going to copy. For anybody who doesn't know how to do this, it's pretty easy. You go and paste. Okay, and you should be good to go. All right, we're gonna open this up. And we're gonna bring him in. Let's give him some expressions. Let's do motion plus. Acting? Is there like an acting one? No. Well, okay, well, how are his eyes? No, they don't move as much. I need to test with the eyes. Yep. So we'll see if this if the human digital thing will work. So let's bring him in. It's animated acting. Idle one. Let's put an idle one. See how that works. There we go. I like that. All right, so bring that in for him. So let's also make sure all three icons are good. If you don't see the three icons, it's not installed properly. So HQ shader, apply. And the first thing I like to do, I'm going to be honest with you, I think the main issue, you're wondering why it doesn't look good, is because you're using default lighting. You're using the default lighting for the sun and everything, and it absolutely sucks. To be honest, it's way too harsh. I don't like relying on the Unreal lighting at all. I don't personally like it, so that's just me. I absolutely hate it for the passion. So what I'd like to do is I like to make my own set. I like to have all my lighting done, so we'll go into that pretty soon. But first, I just like to bring in the character. For now, yeah, I'm not going to deal with the subdivision. You can if you want to, but personally, since we're just working on an experiment, I'm not going to bother. So let's see, we're going to do scene, range, include motion, 60 frames per second. We're just going to bring in our character here. Bake all animations to sequencer and transfer file. Believe it or not, I have a day off tomorrow. Yay. So it's going to confirm a lot of things. Hopefully this will work. My suspicions. I think the light. I think it's mostly the default lighting that's causing the issue. All right. It's important the character. So yeah, I think the default yeah, it's way too harsh. You get really harsh shadows. Not the best. I would not work with it. What I do recommend for like skies and everything is ultra dynamic sky, because you get and I'll explain it. I'll go through it. What I recommend. Once we bring in our character. So this is the tool I use for my sky, for my sky creation. Ultra dynamic sky. It's $39.99, but it's worth every penny. You can also see this in sales time to time, but it's well worth it because you have a lot of tools at your disposal. So yeah, you see, yeah, a lot of the harsh lighting. Okay, that's what I thought. So let me make just a basic set for him. What I'm going to do is just like a basic, just something very basic. So we'll start at 0. I'll start at like, let's go with 10 for a set. And I'm going to start off with just basic directional lighting here. And now we're going to, I'm going to close out of iclone because I think we're done with it. So I'm going to just make a basic room and everything. Something like that. Oh, sorry. 0, 0, and let's do 90 degrees. And it's sitting right there, right? I think the origin is, where's my origin? So my character, I'll bring it in here. Oop. 0, 0, and 0, just to even him out here. So I'll set this in whatever. You see some lighting. Okay, interesting. May have to adjust the lighting a bit, but or the hair for the lighting. But if where did he go? Okay. Okay. Let's set the color temperature to 5500 and see what we have. Let's do a standard 3-point lighting system. And then finally we have a back. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have some translucency issues, but let's get those fixed. So we're going to start with the eyes. So here you can also do this before you bring in your character. So we can go to CC Shader, Eye Occlusion. Click on this, type in DOF before. And then you'll have something for tear line. See, fixed. Tear line. Click on this, DOF before. Now we go for hair. Now it should be like hair specular or something. Well, let's double check. Same thing for eyelashes. Where's his hair? There we go. Yep, hair specular. Now it's under mask, but what you need to do is go to translucent, type in DOF before, and turn it back to mask and save. Alright, so let me adjust my camera. Turn that off to full automatic. Movie, 48 frames per second. And I'm probably going to change it to, let's do more of a portrait, so 75. Movie, let's do 1.4. What I'm going to do is change my, this is my camera tool, the camera tool I like to use. It's called Real Cinematographer or something. Let me pull it up quickly. Sorry, Cinematographer Lite. This is what I use. So you see, you can do a DOF. Doesn't have any issues in the eyes or anything like that. Pull on focus. And there we go. So yeah, I think you should convert that to digital human hair, that system there. And I think that should fix a lot of your issues. Because if we put them in level sequence, I like to do 48 frames per second that way. And if we apply his animation, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the hair. But yeah, I think that is that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So see. So let's actually apply a sky here for him. So let's take this out. Let's stop highlighting this. So that's my little test, what I like to do. And let's get out of this and let's apply the let's apply ultra dynamic sky for you. So I think your shadow, I think your default lighting, the sky and everything, it's just, I think it's too harsh. And I'm going to explain it here. And this probably coincides with another conversation I had with somebody. So probably not surprising to some, but I used to do a lot of live action shooting. And the one thing I absolutely hated more than anything was filming in the middle of the day, like in the afternoon, at like noon. I hated filming at noon because that's where your shadows are way too harsh. It's a pain in the ass, and I don't. it just causes too much headache. So I usually film later, or if you ever see me, what I do is I'll film like in the middle of the day or something, or I'll film like late afternoon or even golden hour. So the Ultradynamic Sky here, I like to do what I call simulate real sun. So we will prepare for the shaders. So let's film at noon, so you get this really harsh shadow. Kind of annoying. So this is what people will do with the default or whatever default setup that is. Personally, I like to film here, and then I can adjust character if I needed to. But if the character, let's put the animation in. So pilot here. So let's also rotate the sky a bit. Let's do like 90, 180 or so. Now let's say it's a little too harsh. What I'd like to do with the lighting, let's lock it here for him. Let's lock the camera view. See, it's a little harsh here under the camera. It looks pretty decent. But what I like to do is I like to set a rectangular light here because that's your box light. And I'd kind of treat it like I'm so you could have something to reflect off of it. Think of it like a reflecting light back into them. So what I do here is, let's set it at 2. But what I do is I go to color temperature. 5500 is usually common for daylight. 4750 is late afternoon. So what I could do is 0.5 or 1. So let's get this back to 5500. And just make slow adjustments here to your light. So I like to set it here. And if I need to, I can just go in and just change the camera settings individually. Like exposure compensation, I could just turn down the exposure a bit. So 2, and then I can fix my lane to 2 or 2.5, 1.5, and have it fixed, I guess. But everyone knows me. Everyone knows what I like to work with. I like to work with magic hour lighting. I love working with it. It's just a weakness of mine. There, I can make little adjustments here. It also depends on what mood. So hopefully this helped you. Or mostly, how would you adjust lighting? Oh, easy. So if they're in a classroom, do I have a school? Yes, I do. Yeah, let's put this in. And we'll see if I can tear this apart. So for the classroom, I would like see. Hey there. Yeah, a lot of inverses here. But I wouldn't even film straight on. I would probably do this at an angle, just like this. And maybe have something just bounce back up like a light. Yeah, probably not. But let's see, how are we doing on that classroom thing? Oh, do we have a classroom? Do we have to build? Oh, I have to build one of those stupid projects, don't I? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so classroom. Yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna bullshit. So forgive the bullshit here. It probably wants me to. Oh, you gotta build a window. You gotta make a new project. I'm like, no, we're not building a new project. Unreal. All right, so let's say we have some windows. And then let's get a floor. Yeah, this is. I'm just kind of. Let's put that 0, 0, and 0. So this is going to be kind of, I would say it's going to be, it's a little crude, but bear with me on this one. So when I do indoor scenes, there's a couple things here. One, you kind of notice it wants to light everything. So what I like to do is here, under content, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a material. And I call it, sometimes you'll see me refer it to as a flag, or yeah, so it's pretty much what this is going to do is this is going to be a basic flag, but sometimes I get stuff like sometimes I get stuff like with things called sometimes my naming conventions I would call M flag or black flag or whatever. What it is it's just there to absorb the light, so I have a lot more control of my scene. So what I do is I go through here, for here, because sometimes light will leak out and it causes issues. So anytime I make an indoor scene like what you're talking about, and I have a sky and I don't want it to leak everywhere, I create this effect. So when we bring our camera in, this wants the light, everything because auto exposure is on. We'll take this off here. We'll put him towards the center. So you have a lot more control in your lighting, just like this. So you have to think where your light sources are. So what I like to do is I like to set up rectangular lights. Change it to 5500. And the reason why I set up these things is because I have a lot more control in my lighting. Instead of me fighting with the sky constantly, the sky is going to only be, the sky is going to help here, but for windows, I kind of do something like this. So I set it here, and then I'll kind of adjust my lighting. So we'll make adjustments here to whatever the height. Sorry, it's flipped 180 degrees. There, I'll set my barn doors. It's set to like 2. And if I need to, like I said, if we have other light sources like lamps, like a fluorescent lamp, I don't know what the color temperature of fluorescent lighting would be. My bad. Maybe it's like 4,000. Let me check the color temperature. Okay, it's about 4,500. So I kind of set this, maybe set it like 2 or 3. And then I can expand it down here. And then for our characters, you know, what I can do. Him. So you can tell, yeah, we have some lighting issues, probably. Yeah, we have some lighting issues. So for him, like if he's standing there, then I'm going to have, then I'm going to start doing some rectangular lights. So let's say, you know, he's a teacher. He's going to teach to a classroom here. there I'm going to start considering, okay, so let's put a rectangular light for him, because we have a strong light source, we have windows. I'm going to consider here, because we know there's windows, we know what we're dealing with. We're going to set him 5500 here for him. If we pilot, there we go. Then you can kind of work with, you can do key, fill, and back. You can, it's not even towards him. There we go. We can even make small adjustments here. There we go. That, but yeah, more lighting, you can just kind of play around with it. Yeah, rectangular lights are probably going to be your probably going to be your best friend. I definitely use these more than any other light in Unreal, because it's box lights. It's basically my go-to. That, but it also kind of creates a little light here. So yeah, anytime, even then you can even take like a rectangular light and shine it. Make sure you get that right in his, you get that little reflection off his eye. It adds life to the character. So have him animate. You know, in fact, if we bring this out here, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. There you can just adjust whatever you need to. But yeah, if there's ever a classroom setting or indoor scenes, work with that, and that should help you. Wonder, do I have to make a project for that classroom? Wait, what's this? Oh, it's a preview. Okay. Yeah, I have to create a project. That is dumb. It does have a lot of the stuff for a classroom, though. But it's dumb. I have to make a project for it. this I was trying to bring this in. Yeah, you can tell what they. You can easily recreate this. Yeah, just have these little whatever they're called. Build the set, then lights. Use control rectangular lights and work with the sky. There you have a lot more control in your lighting. You won't have the crazy shadows. Remember, it's mostly in the lighting. That's why. No problem. No problem. A lot of this comes from one, just messing around and breaking everything, but some live action experience, some yeah. How I got this idea though, I'll kind of explain it. Where I came up with this idea is well, like I say, it came from my filmmaking experience and my real life action. So if I want, so let me pull up Shot Deck for a second. I'll explain it. So you use these kind of to absorb light. So Hoyt van Hoytma used it for a scene here. It made me think when I was working with with lighting similar. Then the light kept bleeding everywhere, and it just pissed me off to no end. So what Hoyt van Hoytma did was for Spectre, he had this really harsh light, but then he had these flags here to absorb the light so it doesn't bounce back into his face. So it made me think, like, okay, well, maybe this was me experimenting and playing around with it. Maybe if I create all these flags here or whatever, just to absorb the light, I'm gonna have a lot more control on my lighting, and it worked. And you saw me do this with other productions too. With Red Strike, when I was working on that scene with oh god, I had that lighting all situated. I had a scene where a character I think I still have it around. Let me pull it up. I swear I'll have this here, so let's pull up let's pull up 5.4. It's going to do compile shaders, but yeah, you want to have full control of your lighting here. That's really, to be honest, that's how you make your projects look good. That's how you make your characters look good. Doesn't matter metahuman or iclone. Heck, this could. That's really your secret. That's all you need to know, is you need to know how to light. Once you get through this, don't rely too much on preset lights. Don't rely on that. Just go and play around with your lighting, and sooner or later you'll get what you want. So. Not that, but if you get your lighting good, and if you get good lighting and everything, I don't want to tell you how many people would come up to me and ask, is this metahuman? I get that question often. People would ask me, "Hey, are you working with metahuman, or is this the lighting? Is this like I'll render something and I'll get?" I was like, "No, this is character creator," and it just blows people's minds. Like, oh shit, I didn't know you can get it to look good. And sometimes I make really shitty lighting renders that scare people. It's hit or miss with me, but yeah, if you get the lighting pretty good, people won't know. That's why I get really annoyed with people who who ask for a better render engine in iClone, but for God's sakes, they don't know how to light. It's decent. I mean, light iClone, yeah, it's not like compared to Unreal. There's no comparison, but it's not its fault. iClone has a small team. Unreal is Epic Games is huge, you know. Put this way, when I was in SIGGRAPH in Los Angeles years ago, Epic had this huge stall and they had this huge kiosk and these banners, and they took like a huge amount of space in that convention center, where you can walk in the room and go through and ask the staff a million questions about virtual production and all that. And they're everywhere, and they open up computer labs and discuss. Reallusion had that small little kiosk. What you normally see, they have a table, but they're small. They have a small team compared to Epic. So I just don't think it's fair comparing the two together. You're gonna have a I deleted the characters. So it's not compared. It's not fair to compare the two. But it doesn't matter if you don't know how to freaking light. If you can't light, you're in trouble. If you don't know, if you just rely on presets, you're in trouble. It doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter what you do. If you don't know how to light, it doesn't matter if it's Epic, Blender, Unity, Omniverse, whatever. If you don't know how to light, you're in deep shit. So that's my little preaching, I guess. I don't know. You can tell I get real sick of that conversation. I get real tired of those conversations when people scream for a better render engine. And I understand iClone can, but it's just and then I see their renders and I'm like, you motherfucker, you're using the same default lighting. You're using default lighting and you don't I just want to go and smack people, like going like not like not like real life, but like do the Gordon Ramsay, like no, look at this, like no, you're using default lighting. You're not trying. Stop bitching. Sorry. I get mad. I get real freaking annoyed. Just noticed something. Okay. Did I have my character? No, I didn't. No, it just makes me incredibly annoyed when I get that. I see that conversation and I see people complaining about it. Yeah, it looks the same. It looks the same. That's it. So yeah, you can tell what I did. So I had a character, you couldn't see the outline of his face, but yeah, you see these bright lights. Someone's gonna get mad at me tomorrow. This is why I'm not fun. This is why you don't want me going into the forum boards too much in Reallusion. I'll just yell at people. I'll give Peter a hard time. But yeah, yeah. If I have a character, you won't see his face. It's like it's from Spectra, but yeah. So yeah, because what the light will do, it gets absorbed, but it won't bounce back into his face. That's that's a lumen thing. Anything reflective, especially if you have white will bounce right back into the character's face, but black will absorb the light, and you can actually make really nice, decent silhouettes. I had a render. I thought I had a character in here, but oh well. But that's just something. If you want to, you can reflect the face. You can use a white plane. It'll bounce back in his face, or you can use a rectangular light. But if you want to absorb and you want to create this really cool silhouette effect, you can use a flag. So you can use that to reflect. So that's what you can do. Yeah. I think that's it for me tonight. I'm getting pretty tired out. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, let me know. Discord's down below, I guess. I'll probably have to post like a Discord link somewhere, but everything you need to know. Hopefully that fixed your character. Just let me know once you get the character in. But yeah, if you're wondering why I look good in Character Creator and on Unreal Engine, it's because of your light. It's light. Because Character Creator 4 has a portrait lighting system. It's more for portraits and such. iclone is very like blank canvasy. So light. But yeah. Hopefully I get to sleep in, but knowing me, my alarm will go off at like 5 in the morning. Oh boy. So anyway, if anyone has a question,